Hello, my name is Prindle, and today I want to talk to you about something that can really sneak up on commercial tenants. That's the escalation clause. You might lock in a lease at what you think is a great rate, and then 2 or 3 years later, you're paying more than you thought you would. That's the escalation clause at work. So what exactly is an escalation clause? In its most simple form, it's a clause that prescribes how much more you're going to pay in rent over a period of time. There are a few ways that these are commonly structured. It's really important to understand the differences. So let's go ahead and dig in. Fixed increases. So this is the most straightforward and most common type that I see anyways. The lease spells out how much your rent will go up. It's usually between 2 to 4% annually in the state of Florida from the leases that I see anyways. This provides predictability, which is honestly, it's really good for your budgeting, but you still need to account for it in the long term. So if you're signing a 5 or a 10-year lease, make sure you calculate what your rent is going to look like in year 7, not just in your first year. Typically on the first page of a lease, your rent schedule will be prescribed, so you should be able to easily visualize this. Next up, CPI increases. This is going to tie your increases to CPI, or the Consumer Price Index. This is really rare, in my opinion, honestly. I've only ever seen one lease in 15 years of working in commercial real estate that was tied to CPI. Basically means if inflation goes up, your rent does too. It's a way for landlords to hedge against rising costs. The problem is, unlike fixed increases, hikes in CPI can be a little harder to predict, especially in a high inflation environment. So that can mean double-digit increases for you on your rent. The third type are going to be step-ups or tiered increases. Instead of increasing every year, some leases have a built-in step-up every few years. So for example, your rent might stay flat for the first 2 or 3 years and then jump up by, say, 8% in year 3 or 4. These are more common in longer-term leases. They can really catch tenants off guard. I'm not a huge fan of these, to be honest. You got to budget ahead for them. So why do escalation clauses exist? Well, let's be honest, landlords are going to have rising costs. Property taxes go up, maintenance goes up, insurance goes up. These things don't tend to come back down, right? So these clauses help ensure that the rent is going to keep pace with the landlord's expenses. That doesn't mean that you can't negotiate the terms, though. In leases with fixed increases, you can try to negotiate those increases. Let's say a landlord is looking for 4% increases a year. You could try to negotiate that down to 2 or 2.5% a year. Very common. This happens in commercial lease negotiations all the time. Understand whether the escalations apply to base lease or net charges and base lease. You got to understand that distinction. It can end up costing you a whole lot of money. Before you sign anything, run a projection. I can't tell you how many phone calls I've gotten from people that are in year 3, 5, 7 of a lease that they did with someone else. They didn't understand how the costs were going to increase and they need a way out. It's not a good position to be in. So run your projections beforehand, understand what you're going to pay throughout the duration of the lease. Fill out the contact me form. I'll give you a phone call. I'd love to see what kind of retail or warehouse space you're looking for and help you find a great one.